What's up, y'all? This is Ryan.
I'm Michael.
And we're here at
Oh My Juice,
getting some interviewing done for Waco Restaurant Week in support of the local owners who are going to be involved with that event. We're excited to get to know the people behind the kitchen and the products that you guys are going to be enjoying. So hope y'all enjoy the gold that comes out of this conversation. Peace. Everybody, this is Ryan Thomas and the Michael Carpenter, MC. They call me MC. And we have
Donitia Blunt
with Oh My Juice. We're just in partnership with Waco Restaurant Week through Collide, getting to know some of the owners that are going to be involved with Waco Restaurant Week, and we figured she's one of the best to get to know. And so we're hanging out.
Yeah. So Donitia, like, Oh My Juice, that's such a unique name. Like, tell us the story behind that. How did that come about?
So we were brainstorming one day, and I'm about the least creative person on the planet. And all of my kids were sitting around thinking, throwing out names. And I said, oh my gosh. And my oldest daughter said, oh my juice. And I was like, that's it. And, you know, when I started to think about it, it was like, you know, you want people to have that kind of reaction when they come in here.
Yeah.
Oh my juice.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you think there's anything specifically that inspired her to say juice? Or she just was like...
She's just a creative
juice?
person.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she was throwing out names. But I think when my other child said, when I said, oh my gosh, she was just like, no, oh my juice.
No, the creative thing to say is
That's
juice.
right. And you want people to have that kind of reaction.
Yeah, that's great. What was what was the motivation behind starting the business in general? Like, what made you want to do like a juice shop?
Okay, well, if I'm telling the truth, I didn't ever want to do a juice shop. But the motivation behind Oh My Juice in general was way back about 15 years ago. Gosh, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but two major events happened in my life. I was in a car accident that left me in a lot of pain.
Okay.
Totally dependent upon pain meds. Didn't know what to do, and I had a friend who said, you just got to change your diet. And I looked at her and I said, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And she was absolutely adamant that I change my diet. And then I started getting sick. I was just getting sick every single solitary day, and I've had some of my most embarrassing moments that I won't share on camera. But all of that kind of collided at the same time, and I thought, I've got to change something. Something has got to change.
Yeah.
And so she helped me. She helped me change my diet. I went totally vegan for about 2 years. Never was sick again, and all my pain went away in about 7 weeks.
Wow.
Totally gone. I'd been dependent on pain meds for over 1.5 years.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. I had no idea how powerful food was.
Literally, not even like 4 days ago, I went to a detox seminar.
Yes.
And they explained how,
Yes.
I don't quote me on this, but I do remember the number of 100,000 deaths in the past. It was either in the past year or something like that were caused by toxins from medication.
Yes.
Because simply and all the symptoms that they were treating with the medication stem back to your health, like your gut health, or the toxins in your body, or whatever.
And they keep treating it with medication. And, you know, in fairness to healthcare professionals, I believe in doctors. And in fairness to them, if you went to a healthcare professional and you're really sick, and he says, Michael, go home and become a vegan. What would you do? You would go look for another doctor.
Why did I go to a doctor?
I couldn't do that.
And
I wish it was normal.
you know, doctors are kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. I think a lot of them believe in, you know, health through eating well, but then if you tell your patient that, they're going to be looking for another doctor almost immediately.
Wow.
Because not everybody buys into that. But it's absolutely, I have seen it change not only my life, but I've seen it change life after life after life.
And I think it's interesting that people don't buy into it because it's not a quick thing.
Exactly.
Sure it took you time to even transition to even being a vegan, you know, before even the health, you know, for your health even started to improve from it. So,
and that's exactly right. I mean, it's a process. And then when the process happens, when I went off of pain meds, and it was still 7 weeks before I was functioning with no pain. Wow. And that's a long time.
Yeah.
You know, when you're...
But now you're healed for a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Longer time.
Yes, a longer time.
So that's a great transition to, I think, another question I had is like, what was the process behind this business? Because obviously this didn't just, you know, pop up overnight. You know, what was the process of starting this?
So we started at the farmer's market.
Okay.
And we started juicing,
Shout out
juicing.
Farmer's Market.
Yes. And we just started juicing. We were out there for a year and a half. And then my cheerleader, Tiara, came and said, hey, there's a storefront open underneath Spice Village. And the thought in my mind was, I don't care. I don't want to do that. I simply don't care. And she said, well, just come and look at it. Just come and look at it. So I came and I looked and I said, okay. What do you want me to do with this? And Tiara was she is a great cheerleader, and she was a lot of the motivation. I'm the type of person, I'm very conservative, I'm a coward in a large sense of the way. And I was scared. And Tiara kept saying, you know, we can do this. Yeah. And so we kind of jumped in not knowing anything. Sometimes God's good like that, you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't let you know all your obstacles.
Yeah.
You just kind of meet your first obstacle, and then he's right there going, oh, this is what you do.
Yeah.
And then you meet 1,000 more obstacles, and each time it's just like, oh, this is what you do.
Yeah. Wow.
And sometimes he's just gracious, and he just doesn't show you all that ahead of time. So sometimes you just jump in without really knowing anything, and that would definitely be me. I don't know. I didn't know anything, and I still today I don't know a lot, but God has been so very, very good to me, and I have a lot of great mentors.
That right there eliminates a lot of excuses for people who are dreaming of something or wanting to start something or do something, but have fear because of the rational. You know, fear is. I actually was thinking about it the other day. Like fear, there are things that I still get scared of that I'm like, I've conquered something like this before. I've done this before. But it's happening again, and I'm like afraid. But it doesn't mean that you yourself are forever gonna be a coward. It's like you have an opportunity to have courage. Without fear, it's almost like courage isn't as powerful sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I read a quote, and I'm not sure I can quote it exactly, but it was something to the effect that being brave is not the absence of fear. It's just facing whatever it is that scares you and moving forward anyway.
Wow.
And so I can't say that I did that willingly. I kind of came kicking and screaming. But you know, like I said, God is really good, and sometimes you build up the nerve because you look at it and go, oh, I could do this. Because there's a million things you don't see. But yet God just it's like, okay, keep thinking that. Keep thinking that, baby. Keep thinking that.
So when you started taking those, you know, steps, and through that fear, who were some of the people, you know, outside of Tierra, that you practically would work with, like, to make this go from, you know, just an idea to a reality, like when you came?
So I have a really good friend who owns Zaxby's in Georgia, and he took his own time, his own money. He flew down here, helped me set up my back room, kind of went through, helped me set up kind of my storage areas, walked me step by step through some of the next steps I needed to take, sent me a budget that I was supposed to be, you know, this is how much I'm supposed to be paying in labor, this is how much my food cost should be.
Yeah.
Just kind of a guideline that I knew nothing about. And he was amazing. His name is John, and just God put him in my life a long time ago, and he has been a huge blessing. And of course, Norris, my husband, we call him the Bank of Norris, because without him, there would be no OMJ. He's the money behind it, and it's
it's a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
And so, so the Bank of Norris is in my corner all the time.
So the aesthetic in here was really great. Like I feel very free in here. Like how did this happen? Like who was the designer? Like whose idea was to create this this really open? I like it's a small space but it has a very open concept at the same time. There's a lot of light and it feels.
So if you ask Norris, he'll tell you that it's the Colorado vibe. You know, I'm from Colorado.
Oh,
I like things like.
I wish I was from.
I like to feel like I'm, you know, in the wide open spaces. But more than that, what we represent here is whole natural food. And we want the ambiance to feel natural because that's what we are. We are a natural food product. And so when we walk in here, we don't want people feeling like, oh my gosh, this is like opulence and fake, and we want everything to feel like it came somewhere naturally, brick and wood and metal, and just the elements that come within the store itself, the concrete. We left it bare for a reason, because we want it to appear as though it's natural, and it was here naturally. So that was the reason behind it.
That's amazing. And is that what you think, what sets you apart from the competition?
Well, I think what sets us apart from the competition more than anything else is our ingredients. When you go to a smoothie place, we won't say any of their names, but when you go to a smoothie place, you get a lot of ice, you get a lot of sugar, you get a lot of powders with a lot of chemicals, preservatives, all kinds of things in them. There's not really anything natural about them. When you come in here, every single solitary thing that comes through our door is a whole product that we break it down into our pieces. So for instance, you know, our base is apple juice, our base is pineapple juice, whatever it is, we bring that into the store as a whole food. We juice it. There's nothing else added to it. It's just apple juice, it's just pineapple juice. We make our own salad dressings, and we make every single solitary thing in the store so that we know every single solitary ingredient. I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but the FDA says that things that are labeled natural foods or natural flavorings can have up to 100 different chemicals in them without being posted on the label. So I know some people use natural peanut butter. Our peanut butter is peanuts that are ground up. That's it. Our almond butter is almonds that are ground up. Our cashew butter is cashews that are ground up. That's it. That's all that's in it. But when you go and you see someone open up a jar that says natural peanut butter, there could be up to 100 different chemicals in that peanut butter. Not to mention the fact that it's preserved so that it can last 120 days on a shelf somewhere. And so that is really what sets us apart. We're passionate about that.
And now that you mentioned how that paying attention to that saved your life.
Yes.
Essentially. It's like I don't want to. I want to be sure that I am eating that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm a retired teacher, and I taught children with learning disabilities for a long time. And one thing that you realize with children who are diagnosed with learning disabilities, they're on a lot of different medications.
Okay.
Over the years, I had one parent who changed their child's diet, and it changed his life.
Wow.
The thing is, what we're adding into our diet through boxed foods out of a grocery store, going to a restaurant, and they have boxed foods brought in, whether it's boxed, canned, whatever. There's a lot of preservatives. There's a lot of things that seep in through the metal, through the plastic. There's lots and lots of chemicals that we're taking into our body every single solitary day, and it's destroying our cells.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a huge increase in diabetes, arthritis, sickness of all kinds, and this is what people don't understand is arthritis and diabetes don't have to be a normal part of the aging process.
Yeah.
They are because of what we eat.
Yeah. Wow.
But they don't have to be.
They don't.
But most people don't understand that distinction. They think that, hey, I'm getting older, that's what happens. Not necessarily.
No, 'cause in
it's
other
what's
countries- I
coming
learned this
into your
week
body.
That Japan has the longest, their population has the longest lifespan.
Yes.
Because one, their country doesn't allow a lot of the chemicals in our
Exactly.
food in their country.
Yeah.
And then two, they have the right filtration system through the foods they eat, which are seaweed and algae and stuff like that.
Yes.
And it's all it's natural.
Yes.
And
Wow.
they live over 100 years normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm
You get on the
I'm
news
kicking
and you
the
turn
can.
100
I'm
now.
65. And those dudes are like, their over the hump is like 70.
Yes.
And for us, it's like 45. You're like, oh well, midlife. I'm headed out.
40 is my midlife crisis.
But food, what you put in your body can literally make you live. I don't even want to say live longer. I want to say like live your actual lifespan.
Better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, better. Yeah.
Your actual lifespan, and you know, we always talk about quality versus quantity of life. But what kind of quality of life do you have when you're in constant pain, when you're taking tons of medicine, when you can't go and do the things that you want to do on a daily basis because your body is breaking down on you? See, you know, I'm a lot older than you guys, but you know that because I'm old enough to be your mother.
We just want to tell them how old we are so they don't do the math.
There you go.
But I told you I was in a car accident, and but I was even in a more recent car accident. They did x-rays of my knees and my hips. I don't have any arthritis at all.
Wow.
None. And that's not really normal for my age.
Wow.
Because a lot of people, and I chalk it up to what I eat.
Yeah.
Because I live what I preach. Day in and day out, I eat exactly what I tell people to eat here.
That,
And
sorry.
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that I think that is like the atmosphere, like he was saying, when you come in here, you're like, something, it feels free and natural and,
Yes.
and open. It's a
Yes.
small place, but I trust it.
Yes.
It's that, and
Yes.
I think it's because it's from the inside out, like it's the integrity you carry.
We're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I'm passionate about bringing my employees in here. I want them to learn about the product. I want them to be able to share with the same kind of passion that I have. Why is this a great place? Why is it better than the place down the road?
Yeah.
Why should you be here and not there?
Wow.
Why is it worth spending the extra money? Because everything that we have, we don't bring anything in from a centralized kitchen anywhere.
Wow.
It doesn't have any kind of preservation to it, and because of that, we have to be really careful. you know, we bring in fresh food every single day because nothing is preserved.
Yeah.
And so when you come in here for a salad, you're getting food that is fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh.
And I'm sure that's like a sacrifice, you know, because from a business perspective, I'm sure that makes your overhead a little higher.
It's difficult.
So wow, it's like you're making a sacrifice for your for your customers, you know, and I think that's honorable.
And you struggle when people put out there on Yelp and Instagram or something, they put a review out there for you that says, gosh, this place was really good, but their price point is ridiculous. Well, fresh food is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
And they want what we have, they just don't, not everybody wants to pay for it. But I think once they understand what we do and what makes us different.
It actually might save you medical bills in the future.
Yeah. It's like I would never know that. I would just think, I think I would know that reason it would be expensive just because our probably using natural products.
Right.
But I wouldn't know the value in that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I would think, they're just high because they want to make money. Like no, the higher prices are high so they can give you the quality that you need to keep you alive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like live.
And once again,
and even like beyond keeping you alive, it's like you thrive while you live. You enjoy your life longer.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
even like your body's going to waste away already. So
Exactly.
why make it harder if you have the choice? And it's almost like, oh, my juice is more than just a product. It's a responsibility you're taking to take care of your life.
for us, it's life-changing.
Yeah.
And, we have people who walk into our store and they might be overweight, they might have health issues. I don't care what their issue is. Today they made a good choice.
Yeah.
And I love it when people come in here and make a good choice today. Because it's the start of something.
Yeah.
I did that at one point in time. And every single person, I have a good friend who stops in on his way from Austin. He has MS. He was confined to a wheelchair and about 3 years ago changed his diet completely. Every month or so he walks in my doors. And he's at the gym working out. It may not cure everything, but food is a great place to start when you're looking to change something about your health.
Yeah.
It's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same
And
as life.
And it literally could change your life. And I have, think about your quality of life. I mean, I've experienced this personally. I've experienced a lot of loss in my life. And it really boils down to not taking care of your health. And, it's the people that I've loved that I've lost. And it's just really, if they had made changes, it could have been different.
Yeah. I really want to touch on that, really, and want to kind of communicate something, around the value of your process creatively, honestly, as a culinary artist. The passion behind why I make music, why you coordinate with creatives, why when no one else, really cared or whatever, or not as many people cared or knew about Collide, I felt like there was something to move forward with, was for moments like this where you realize if you weren't creative, if you weren't taking your dream from dream to reality, there are literally lives that will not be impacted for the better.
That's right.
And it's that a lot of times creatives get this rap of they just want to express themselves, and that's cool and that's true to some extent for some people, but music, I mean, it saves kids from suicide. It took me out of depression. And then food, it literally can take you out of depression. It can heal, it saved your life. And that's the value of part of why we wanted to get to know you. And,
Well, and for me, you know, our newest menu item is called Meant to Be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a Thin Mint. Because, you know, I love really good chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm a chocolate fanatic. But, you know, it's like, how do you balance and make something really good out of something that's really not so good for you, you know?
Yeah.
And so Meant to Be has all these great ingredients that really are healing to the body, that heal on a cellular level, and yet they taste just like a Thin Mint when you drink them. For me, that is like the ultimate. It just makes me ecstatic, and I'm like, I did it.
That is amazing. Whoa!
And so everything, you know, people ask me all the time about my menu and where it came from. Every single thing on this menu is something that either Tiara or I created.
Wow.
And
So
it
you
really
are creative. What are you talking about?
Like,
and it really comes down
bro.
to I like my food to taste good, but I like my food to be good for me.
Yeah.
And there's rarely that balance, you know. When you eat it, I've eaten at a ton of different restaurants, vegan restaurants. You don't always find that balance. It's like, okay, do I need to suck this down because it's good for me? I don't want people coming in here with that experience. I want people coming in with the experience of, oh my gosh, I got to go back. I don't even want them to think about the fact that, oh, I have to eat this because it's good for me. I want them to enjoy eating it because it's good for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't always get that experience.
Like that is where your gift as
Yes.
a culinary artist, that is where your
Yes.
creativity separates you from some, you know, another place that makes bowls out of a recipe that's given to them.
Right.
And or a juice or whatever that, you know, it's the difference between you and Minute Maid or something. That, not to like, I love Minute Maid. I grew up
We're
on
not
Minute Maid.
disparaging anybody, but yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Ultimately,
Like,
yes.
they have their own creative process as
Yes, they
business
do.
people, but like,
Yes.
that's what separates your juice from another person's juice.
Well, and I think it goes back to your motivation. My motivation is different.
Yeah,
If I want to make millions of dollars, then I would have to change some things. I would have to go to a process that really minimizes my labor, that allows things to stay on the shelf for 90 days, so I don't lose any money to waste. It would be a different product if my motivation was different. But my motivation is health. Bottom line, end of story. There's no other motivation. There's no other reason for me to be in existence. If I can't do something for my own health and help other people enjoy their health, there's no reason for me to exist. And so ultimately that's the bottom line for me. It's the motivation.
That is so great.
So everything you taste coming in here is good.
It is good.
I can't wait to come in here and get some juice.
I also would encourage you when you're outside. I don't know how much time we got, but
we can start wrapping
wrap it up.
Yeah,
but,
we've got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, this is awesome. I will say, and it's okay if this is not recorded, but so I didn't eat an acai bowl my whole life until I came here.
What?
Yeah, I never did. And then my girlfriend, she's from San Diego.
Yes.
And she, so she's had sambas on.
Yes.
Which is like, and she would rave about how it's like the origin of, you know.
Yes.
And like is a acai snob, like.
Yes.
And took me here because it was the closest thing to like good acai, if not like she needed it to like exist for a while. It's like, and so anyway, to encourage your quality of your acai bowls, it's just like or any bowls or whatever, or smoothies. It's up there with like the best, and it's right
I spent
corner of Franklin and what?
There you go, Franklin and Second.
Wow.
Like
Waco,
Vanna Pike.
Texas.
Yes.
Cool.
Well,
But-
thank you.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Come back and see us.
Yes.
Oh.
And I'll make you a thin mint. I'll make you a mint to be.
Meant to be.
I would
chocolate.
love to like when y'all like have a new like y'all working on a new drink, like call us because we would love to like see
always
the
working.
process of making a new
Okay.
like.
You have to drink about 1,000 smoothies, but
I'm here for
Okay.
it. Call me. I'm here.
some of them don't taste so good.
Oh,
But,
really? That's funny.
but you know that's when it's in the beginning stages. We'll call you as it gets more toward the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
tastes much better more toward the end. But
Well, cool.
yeah,
Well,
it's a process. It takes a long time. People ask us all the time why we don't add things to our menu. It's difficult.
tough.
It's difficult to do.
Wow.
But
Well, it's
you
awesome.
guys need to try the meant to be.
Meant to be.
Yes.
Well,
Get it.
that's next on the list.
Yeah, I want to try the fruit of the spirit too. That looks like a really interesting.
Right there. You can have one on your way out.
Super existential.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, this was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like,
Thanks for coming.
not
I felt the
gonna
presence
lie.
of God during this conversation. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, the spirit
Taking us
is here.
to church. But really, like, this was awesome. I had no idea how like amazing, like how one genuine this would have been. I had a feeling it would be. Because that's just like the beauty of Waco people.
Yes,
But
that's
and then
true.
also just how holistically like necessary this conversation is going to be
Yeah.
or was. And I'm excited for people to hear how they can like naturally heal their lives by enjoying amazing, like really good stuff. It's not like stuff your parents say, drink this cough syrup
It's
to
good
live.
for you.
It's better than cough syrup because it'll actually heal you.
That's
It
right.
tastes good.
That's right.
But thank you so much.
Thank you. So
this
nice
is
to meet you.
amazing.
Yeah.
We will definitely come get a mint to be.
All right.
All right, guys. Signing out.